Hey, welcome everybody. This is CP Clark and Dyson. This is your favorite Top baseball channel, and we are playing Statis Pro today. We are replaying the 1985 Yankees season. Now, we started this season about 3 years ago when I was visiting New York. I was in Queens, and after the Met games, I'd come home and I pulled out the set, and I wanted to do something a little bit different. I had a couple of Met season replays going, so I said, let me do the Yankees, and here we are. This is, let's see, the Yankees are 37-26, so that's game, I think this is game 64 of the season. Detroit is also 37-26. It's a 4-game set. The Yankees have lost the first 2 games, but in this game, it looks like the Yankees have the advantage. It's going to be Ron Guidry. Ron Guidry in the replay is 8-4 with 2.97 ERA against Dan Petry. So it's the Louisiana Lightning, Ron Guidry versus Dan Petry. Petry for the Tigers is 3-7 with a 3.85 ERA. The Yanks are visiting in Detroit, and it's Ricky Henderson leading off in center field, followed by Ken Griffey in left field. Then it's Don Mattingly in the 3-hole, the first baseman. The cleanup spot is populated by David Winfield in right field, and then one of my favorite players of all time, Don Baylor, the DH, batting 5th, batting 6th is Ron Hassett, the catcher, batting 7th is Willie Randolph, the second baseman. Pagliarulo at third base, batting 8th, and batting 9th is Bobby Meacham. So now the cool thing about replay PC baseball is whenever I want to use a score sheet, I can just hit print, and it prints out for me. So that makes my life way easier, and it kind of encourages one to use a score sheet more often, because you don't have to write down all the information. Now, another cool thing is that if I were actually using the replay system, it would include all the data for me, the speed. It includes all the fielding ratings. So this is very, very cool, and it's encouraging me to use replay baseball more, and I'm looking more and more into buying more replay baseball card sets. It's a fun system, just because, hey, I have all the data written out for me, which is, it makes my life way easier. So this is a fast action game, and you pull a card, and I'll show you exactly how to do this. The engine is, most of the charts are right on the board, the game board, which is lying on the table, and you have the home pitcher reduction and visitor pitcher reduction, which kind of guides you as to when to replace the pitcher. So, all right, let's get started. It's going to be Ricky Henderson facing Dan Petry. I'm going to play ball. It's going to be a PB, which is the pitcher, It's off the pitcher rating, and it's a 7. It's 2-8 for Petrie, and Guidry's going to be 2-8. So they're both 2-8. So whenever there's any number between 2-8, I got to look off the pitcher's card first. That's going to give the pitcher an advantage. Now, I think Statis Pro was a little bit of a response to an age that had Appa and Stratomatic dominating the market of tabletop gaming systems. And both of those did not have a pitcher-driven system. One of them was 50-50, and then Appa had an odd system where the letter grade of the pitcher is in effect all the time. It wasn't sometimes the batter gets the advantage, sometimes the pitcher gets the advantage. It was always the kind of the status of the column that you look at was affected by the pitcher, but there wasn't a big distinction between pitchers, and every batter would have the same opportunity versus that pitcher. You're going to have a greater influence, and the results are going to come off their card versus coming off the batter's card. When it comes off the batter's card, then the batter is going to have an advantage. So right now we're a 7. Ricky Henderson, he's a right-handed hitter. He's got speed, he's got power. He's one of the top players of all time. And it's going to be a 31 off Petrie's card, and that's going to be a strikeout. So the first out of the game is a K to Ricky Henderson. All right, so next batter, it's a CD, so we have to pull another card. It's a 7 again, so that's going to be off Petrie. And a 52 is a Ken Griffey's an LN. LN's line and caught by the first baseman, Garbe. It's Don Mattingly. Don Mattingly in our replay got 344. That's an 11. Just look at Mattingly's card at 81. It's going to be an out LP. There's a ground ball to a third baseman. Scooped up over to first in time. 3 up, 3 down. All right. Bottom of the first. Here goes. It's going to be Tom Brookins versus Ron Guidry. That's a 9. That's off Brookins. A 61's an out. RN. Chopper to second. And that's fielded by Randolph over to first in time. Here it goes. It's a CD. Can't use that. It's a 7. That's going to be off Guidry. An 11 off Guidry against a righty. That's going to be a base hit. Little infield single, little dribbler that the shortstop Meacham gets to, but there will be no throw. So that's the first hit. So we're going to reduce Guidry by 1. And that was off Guidry's card, so we're going to have to check for error. Now it's Gibson. Gibson hit a grand slam in this morning game. That's a 3. That's off Guidry, a 14. But this time it's lefty versus lefty. That's going to make a big difference. And this may be an out. And it will be, it's right here. They have the splits rule. And 14 lefty versus lefty. 14's popped up. That's going to be in foul territory. Cassie throws his mask away and makes the catch. Now, is Trammell a base stealer? He is not really a base stealer, so he's not going to be attempting that. Well, here goes. It's a 9. That's going to be off Parrish. And that's a strikeout. So Guidry, Louisiana Lightning blows a fastball by Parrish, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit. We'll go to the top of the second. Dave Winfield versus Dan Petrie. Here's the pitch. It's a CD. We don't use that. It's a 5. That's going to be off Petrie. A 62 is an easy out. RP is a comebacker to Petrie. He fields it cleanly over to first. 1 out. Don Baylor. That's a 6. Off Petrie, a 67. Baylor's an RP. That means a right-handed pull hitter. And he chops it to short. Shortstop Trammell will field it cleanly and throws out Baylor. 2 up, 2 down. Now it's Ron Hassey. Hassey with a 7. That's off Petrie. A 56 is an out. He's an LP. That's ripped to second base. And who is that? Flynn is at second base today. Yeah, Flynn is at second base, not Whitaker. That's going to be 4-3, and that retires the side. We have 3 down, go bottom of the second. So moving pretty quickly. All right, it's going to be Larry Herndon versus Brian Goodley with the pitch. Nope, can use those. Oh, yeah, 3 in a row. Got to separate those. It shouldn't happen. All right, another one. That's a 7, so that's going to be off Goodley. And a 63 is an out. Let's tidy this up a bit. And an out to chop it a second. And fielded cleanly by Randolph. Looks it to first, Mattingly with a scoop. A little bit low to throw. Nice play by Mattingly. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the second, no score. Now it's Barbaro Garbe. It's a 4, that's off of Guidry at 55 is an out. RN is chopped to short. Waiting back for it is Meacham. Now he charges, fires on the run. That's Garbe. And Sanchez. We pull a 3, that's Guidry, 74. That's an out. RP, and that's a fly ball deep left field. Back goes the left fielder Griffey to the track and makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down. Go to the top of the third. So this is moving a little bit more quickly. I've gotten used to it a little bit. It takes me a while. It takes me about 3-4 games to start getting into a little bit of a groove. All right, so Willie Randolph leading us off against Petrie. That's a 6 off Petrie's card. A 71 out. RN is a pop up to the left side. Third baseman Brookins makes the catch. Mike Pagliarulo is next. That's a 3 off of Petrie, a 76. Tags an LP. And that's popped up on foul ground on the right side. And both the first baseman Garbe and Flynn is over there. And Flynn calls him off. So it makes the catch in foul territory. 2 out. It's a 7 again off Petrie, an 18, and that is a low ground ball and through in the center field for the first hit for the Yankees. So Meacham is on. Meacham is on with a single. And that's going to reduce Petrie by 1. And it's Ricky Henderson. Here's a pitch to Ricky Henderson. It's a 9. It's off Henderson's card, a 13. And that's a righty versus a righty. And righty versus righty 13 is going to be a base hit to left field. And we're going to probably send Meacham to third. Let's pull to see Meacham to third. We're also going to let's check for an error first. No error. Let's reduce this by 1. Let's give Henderson his hit. Now we're going to try for third. And it's a 25. He makes it there easily. First and third. All right, Ken Griffey now. Ken Griffey Sr., not Junior. And here it is. It's a 6 again off Petrie, a 32, and that is ball 4. So Griffey waits him out, walks, and the bases are now loaded. So you got Griffey at first, Henderson at second, and Meacham at third. Hey there. Derek, Dodgers. Hello there, my brother. How are you? Hope everybody's safe out there. Safe and healthy. Following the guidelines of the CDC and the World Health Organization. I was talking to a CEO of a New York City hospital today, and he told me, hey, CDC and the World Health Organization is the best way to go. So that's what I'm following. That's what I recommend anybody else follow. All right, it's Don Mattingly. Now, this is the guy the Yankees want up. He's batting .344, had a tremendous season. These were key seasons, 84, 85, 86, 87. Those 4 seasons, Mattingly was really on top of his game. I think his back issues started, creeping in later on in the late 80s, early 90s. By 92, he was really struggling. He had lost most of his power. He was batting in the 280s, 290s. But Mattingly's up. That's going to be, we're going to have to reduce it by 1 again on that walk. Bases are loaded. There's 2 outs. Top of the third. No score. Here's a pitch from Dan Petrie to Don Mattingly. It's a 9, so that's going to be off Mattingly's card. And a 67 off Mattingly's card is going to be a fly ball right field. And coming over and selling under it is Sanchez, makes the catch. And Yanks lead 3. No runs, 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the third. All right. Here goes. Marty Castillo versus Ron Guidry. It's going to be off Guidry. A 75 off Guidry is an out. Are in. It's popped up. And that's going to be the catcher, Hassey. Puts it away. 1 up, 1 down. Next one is Flynn. It's going to be off Flynn's card. A 68 is RN. That's going to be another out. And that is a comebacker to Guidry. Feels it cleanly. Over to first. 2 out. And it's Tom Brookins, leadoff batter. A 9 is off Brookins. A 16 is line base hit to right. 2 out single for Brookins. And we'll reduce Guidry by 1. That was off Brookins' card, I believe. Yes, it was. So we're going to check for an error. No error on the outfielder. The runner on first. Now it's Alan Trammell. There's a pitch from Guidry. It's a 3. It's off Guidry's card. It's 62. And an RN. And that is a chopper to the second baseman, Randolph. He charges it. And whips it over sidearm to Mattingly for the out. No runs, 1 hit. No score, top of the 4th. Now, this is the top of the 4th is when I shuffle. So this is a nice little game. I mean, it's a well-designed game by a designer who wanted to be a little bit different. You know, this is, I think, the only game that actually has a game board. It's more, you know, and I hear that the basketball game for Statis Pro is one of the best out there. Locked down until May 31st. Good for you, sir. Good for you. I'm going to be locked down until I see that they've, you know, kind of released everybody officially. Not going to take any chances. I hear this thing hurts for weeks and gets in your chest, and it's really painful. So, you know, whether I die or I don't die, that's not even my worry. My worry is just I don't even want to get it. I don't even want to be sick and not be able to talk and not be able to breathe for 3 weeks. Okay, I'm not, you know, in that kind of shape. I do keep active, but come on. All right, so I limit how often I go out, maybe once or twice a week, and I'm wearing a mask and staying safe. Just, you know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'd rather err on the side of caution than, you know, be reckless and then pay for it later. Dave Winfield. All right, that's an 8, and that's going to be off Petrie. A 48 is an out. RP is line and caught. Nice catch by the shortstop, Trammell. 6. Okay. Petrie the pitch. It's off Petrie's card. A 12 against a righty. Righty versus righty. 12 is a foul out, and that's going to be the catcher there. Parrish makes the catch. Oh, no, Parrish is the DH. It's Castillo, the catcher. That's 2 outs. And that's an 11. That's off Ron Hassey. And 83 is an out. LP. And that's line and caught by the second baseman, Flynn, who's an ex-Met. Doug Flynn. He was in my 1979 replay of the Mets season. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Kirk Gibson is up. He fouled out to the catcher. It's going to be off Guidry, 55. And LP is chopped to the first baseman, Mattingly. He's going to race Gibson to the bag for the first out. Lance Parrish is next. The pitch from Louisiana Lightning. That's a 7. That's off Guidry, 71. Another out, RP. And that's back to Mattingly again. This time he's going to go to Guidry. And it's Herman. On a 7, Guidry's card, 88. So that's a righty versus a lefty. So it's a lefty on the mound versus a righty, and 88 is a low ground ball that makes it through the infield for a hit. So it's a 2-out single. That's going to reduce Guidry by 1. And it's Garbe. Barbaro Garbe. What a name that is, huh? And that was off. It's a 7. This is off Guidry, 32. And that's strike 3. Garbe down swinging. That retires the side. No runs, 1 hit. We go top of the 5th. Willie Randolph is leading it off for the Yanks against Dan Petry. That's a 7 off Petry's card. A 16 is line base hit to center field. Lead off batter for the Yanks is on with a single. It's going to reduce Petry by 1. Okay. And he did that. All right. So now it's going to be Pagarula, top of the 5th, no score. That's a 9. That's off Pags. And 86 off Pags. That's a lefty versus a righty. And 86 is going to be an out of some kind. LP is a ground ball to the shortstop. If there's no error, they're going to turn 2. That's going to be Trammell. Goes to Flynn. Relay to first. In time. 6-4-3 double play. And it's Bobby Meacham. That's off Petry, 32. And that's ball 4. Meacham walks, 2-out walk. Trotting down to first is Meacham. Got good speed. We're going to try to steal with Meacham. Let's pull a card. That's a 13. Meacham is a B. 13 says any rated runner steals. There you go. There he goes. The throw down from Castillo, not in time. Stolen base. So that puts a go-ahead runner scoring position for Ricky Henderson. Here's a pitch. That's a 9. That's off Henderson. 48. It's a base on balls. We reduced another one. And that's first and second for Ken Griffey Sr. Here's the pitch. It's a 10. That's off Senior. And an 11. Righty versus lefty. Righty versus lefty. And that's going to be an infield single. So holding at third base is going to be Meacham. Bases are now loaded. Who's got another one? All right, bases loaded, top of the 5th, 2 outs. And again, that brings up Don Mattingly, who in the 3rd inning also stepped to the plate with the bases loaded and flied out to right field. So they're giving him a second opportunity. And I know that Sparky Anderson is not happy about seeing Mattingly coming to the plate here, the bases loaded in the top of the 5th and no score. It was Kirk Gibson who in this morning's game hit a grand slam. So Petry checks in with Castillo for the sign. He sets and deals. Here's the pitch. That's a 10. That's off Mattingly. And a 27. And that is going to be pulled down the line into the right field corner. This is going to score 2 at least. And let's see if they're going to get a third one to come in here. Ken Griffey, let's check his speed, and then we're just going to pull a card. And we're going to see. We're probably going to try to score him with 2 outs. And his OBR, that's his base running, is pretty high as a B. Going to pull a card. It should be low. And that's a bases clearing double for Don Mattingly. Huge. And that's going to be 3 RBIs. And the Yanks lead it by a score of 3-0. So Don Mattingly drives in all 3 runs. And it's Dave Winfield. So now we're going to have to do that. That's going to be 3 RBIs. 1 hit plus 1, 2, 3 runs. And Dave Winfield comes up. We're going to pull a card. We didn't pull the error. We're going to pull the error. There's no error there. Okay. And now it's Dave Winfield. 9 is going to be off Winfield, a 23, and that is driven over to center field, and that's going to be over the center fielder's head. After it is Gibson. Around to score is Mattingly. Yankees lead 4-0, and in at second base with a stand-up double is Winfield. Don Baylor. So that's another run and another hit. So we're almost at the point where we're going to have to pull Petrie. Let's see if we get Don Baylor out. 5, that's off Petrie. A 41 off Petrie, and that's going to be an out. RP, and that's popped up. Middle of the infield, shortstop Trammell makes the catch, and that retires the side, but not before the Yanks pick up 4 big runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Now I'm going to outline those because it makes it a little bit easier for me later on. And then the walk's going yellow, and it helps me read these innings a little bit easier. All right. Let's just add this. All right. So we go to the bottom half of the 5th. The Yankees are up 4-0. And it's going to be Alejandro Sanchez. Hey, Tribe is in the house. Oh, man, love Tribe. How you doing there? He loves his Colorado teams. Alejandro Sanchez, 6. So it's Guidry. It's going to be off Guidry's card, and it's 77. That's an out, and RP is a ground ball to shortstop, who scoops and lets it fly. Throws a little bit high, but stretching is Mattingly for the out. 1 up, 1 down. Marty Castillo. It's a 3, that's off Guidry. A 21 is line, a little blooper actually, a little sinking shot into center field, drops in front of Henderson for a base hit. We'll just Guidry by 1. And that's off Guidry's card, so we don't check for the error. Doug Flynn now. Here's the pitch, it's a 4. And that's off Guidry, a 51. That's going to be an out, RN. Line and caught by the third baseman. 2 out. Top of the order, Brookins. 4-0 Yankees in the bottom of the 5th. 7 off Guidry, an 82. And out, RN is popped up. That's the catcher. Calling for it, and Hassey makes the catch for out number 3. So no runs, 1 hit to go to top of the 6th. Now, on the top of the 6th, we are going to make a pitching change. And we're going to bring in a guy named Scherer. Let me take a quick peek and see who the Tigers are using. Petrie won a complete game in this game. He's not going to do that here. Let's see. Let's go back one. I'm checking Baseball Reference. Checking Baseball Reference. And Willie Hernandez. Just taking a quick look at who they're actually pulling to pitch. And again, Tanana goes in the next game. Frank Tanana. Okay, Lopez and Berenger. You know what I found? This is the original 1985 set, and I found that I'm getting every player. Every time I look for a player, I have him, unless he's been traded. So then I have to go to the other team. So Aurelio Lopez, he's a pitcher. Jack Morris, Walter, Doug Bear. I've seen him pitch. And there it is. I get all the players. So if you see a Statis Pro 1985 set, the original, it's going to come with all the players. So far, I haven't run into any team that doesn't have all the players they used. And the cards are tiny, so they don't take up a lot of space. So we're going to bring in Juan Berenguer to start off the top of the 6th. There we go. And Berenguer, we're going to give him an 11 pitcher reduction number. And now it's Ron Hassett. All right, here goes. And we're in the top of the 6th, so that's an 11. We're going to look at Hassett's card, an 81. That's an NFLP. Chop the 3rd. Charging hard is Brookins. Fires on the run, makes the catch at first base. All right, bring out. And it's Randolph with a Z. Yeah, let's pull a Z chart. Huh? I'm going to pull a Z chart. I usually don't use these, but sometimes I go frisky. 72. And 72 says consult fielding plays. So that, I believe, is somewhere over here. Maybe on the other side of the yellow one? No, the other side of the pink one. Okay, let's see it. Here it is, fielding plays. It's the other side of the building. All right, so we'll pull another number. It's an 81. It says difficult fly to right. All right, let's see who our right fielder is. Yanks are up. Our right fielder is Sanchez. Let's see what his error rating is. They go by error rating this game. They don't have to show E8. So that's a very poor fielder. And what we say, we pulled an 81. And 81 says, okay, 03 to 010. All right, listen. 0, 2 to 0, E0 to E2, right field batter out. Nice hope. Man on third scores. E3 to E10 in right field. Double to right center, runner scores. Okay, so this is going to be a ball that drops in. Nobody scores because there's nobody on base. It's going to be a double for Randolph with 1 out. So that's going to reduce Berenguer by 1. And Mike Pagliarulo at 10, so that's off Pags. At 41 off Pags, and that is a strikeout. 2 out. And it's Bobby Meacham, who's 1 for 1 with a walk. At 6, that's going to be off Berenguer, and an 88. He's a switch hitter, so it's a lefty versus a righty. So righty versus lefty, 88 is going to be a base hit. Stopping at third is Randolph, first and third. So you get splits in this game as well. It's a very simple split system. Ricky Henderson, the batter. Pitch from Berenguer, and you have to move that one. And that's it. So it's an 8. That's going to be off Henderson, a 53. And that's ball 4. So the bases are loaded for the Yanks with 2 outs. We'll reduce it again. We'll bring Ken Griffey, Sr. Here's the pitch. It's a 7. That's off Griffey, 24. And that's going to be pulled down the line into the left field corner. And that's going to go for at least a double. We're going to score Randolph. And we're going to score Meacham. Henderson is going to try to score. We're going to pull a card. They're waving him home. 76 from left field. Let's see. We're going to have to check on this. Herndon's a pretty good arm. He may throw a T4. Uh-oh. T4. First to home on a double. T4, OBRA. It's going to be only a 56, so he is out at the plate. So it was a double to. Let's pull for the error. Make sure there's no error. There's no error. It was a double double to left field, and he's thrown out 7-2. So double, it's going to be 2 RBIs. And the Yankees pick up 2 runs, thanks to their left fielder, Griffey. 2 runs on 1, 2, 3 hits, and they lead at 6-0. I'm just going to fill in the hits very quickly here because it just makes it easier for me to read later. And 1 walk. I'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Ron Guidry's on the mound for the Bombers. He's going to face Trammell, Gibson, and Parrish. The Tigers have a good team, a good, strong team in 1985. As do the Yankees. And here goes. Pitch from Guidry's a 5. That's going to be off Guidry's card, a 14. So he's a lefty, and it's a lefty versus a righty. That's a base hit. So single for Trammell. That reduces Guidry by 1. Down the line of first with nobody out. An 8, that's off Guidry, a 43, and that's a wild pitch. That's going to send Trammell to second base. Wild pitch for against Guidry. Gibson is up. Here goes. That's a 7, again off Guidry, a 27. That's a strikeout. Blows one by. Kirk Gibson reached back for a little extra after that wild pitch. Parrish, an 8. That's off Guidry again. A 74. That's an out. RP. Pop-up infield. Shortstop Meacham is there for out number 2. And here goes. That's a 5. Again off Guidry, and a 67. RN, and that's popped up. A lot of pop-ups in this game to the third baseman, Pagliarulo. Now retires the side. 1 hit. No runs, 1 hit. We go to the top of the 7th. So I'm saying hello to a couple of guys here. Let me read up what's the conversation about. Lockdown until May 31st. Status Pro Basketball. I heard cards are very small, but it's very easy to read because they're not cluttered. And I have the worst eyesight ever, so I'm just giving you that heads up, very honestly. I have trouble reading, but these fonts, it's black on white, and the font is big, and there's a lot of space, and the numbers are very clearly outlined. That's with the baseball. I haven't seen the basketball, so I can't speak of the basketball. Doing well, got another Rockies game uploading right now. Tribe fan doing his Rockies, that's great. YouTube is taking forever to upload right now. That's why I go live. It takes, for me, it always takes forever, even though I ordered decent cable. Lagging on notification comments. Yeah, everything's lagging. The whole world, I think, is lagging right now. All right, so it's top of the 7th, and this is the second time in the game that I have to shuffle. I use my croupier skills from the Taj Mahal, the Trump's Casino. By the end of its era, the rats and the junkies, shot up in the elevators, and the rats. You crossed paths with the rats going down the hallway to your room. All right, so top of the 7th, it's 6-0 Yanks. Ron Guidry is pitching a heck of a ball game. He's going to face, right now it's the top of the 7th, so it's going to be Berenger who's still in there. He's going to face Mattingly, Winfield, and Don Bailey. Oh, here goes. That's a 9. That's going to be off of Mattingly's card. And 85 is going to be an out of some kind. LP. And it's a grounder to second. Fielded by Doug Flynn over to first. One up, one down. 10. That's going to be Winfield's card at 24, and that's going to be splitting the outfield. That's driven. Splits the outfielders. Rolls to the wall. 24. That's going to be the pass to center fielder in left center. Double. That's the second double for Winfield today. So Winfield is the second. That's going to reduce Berger by 1. We're going to check for the error, no error. And we move to Don Baylor now. 6-0. We're going to walk down Baylor just because we want to set up the double play possibility. And I don't think an intentional walk gets charged to him, so I'm not going to charge him with that. Who goes? It's a 9. It's off Hassey. An 85 LP. That is a comeback, but this may be a double play. And 7-10. The pitcher is a 10, so he's going to bobble it, and everybody's safe. E1 loads the bases. Wow. You got the perfect double play ball, and right in Berenger's hands, and he bobbles it, drops the ball, and everybody's safe. E1 flashes on the scoreboard. So it's a 6-0 Yankee lead here in the top of the 7th. The Yanks have the bases loaded with 1 out. Willie Randolph. Here goes. That's an 11. That's going to be off Randolph, a 21, and that's going to be line base hit to center field. That's going to score 1 for sure. And stopping the third is Baylor. Bases are loaded. Single and an RBI for Randolph. Pagliarulo with the bases loaded, only 1 out. So we're going to get 1, 2 more reduced. And it was off Willie's card, I believe. So we're going to check for an error, no error. And those are 2 things I got to keep on reminding myself about, checking for the error and reducing the pitcher. That's something I don't do in any other game. So that's why it's to me, it's a little bit clunky. If this was the only game I played, it would not be clunky at all. Perfectly normal. But since I play so many other games and no other game actually makes you do that, you're checking for, I'd say 75 to 80% of the balls hit to the outfield for singles hit to the outfield for an error by the outfielder. I think it could have been done in a different way. It could have been a little simpler. But that's what they make you do. So Mike Pagliarulo. All right, the infield is going to be, in this case, the infield is just back at this point. The Yankees are up by 7-0. Now, this is clutch batting for Pagliarulo, and he's a 0. And that counts. A 0-35. And nope, we're going to have to roll again. And that's a 7. Again off Pags, a 28, and that's going to be a deep drive. Back the right fielder, back to the track, looks up, and that's out of here. Grand slam for Mike Pagliarulo. Holy cannoli. Yanks take an 11-0 lead. Grand slam home run by the third baseman, Mike Pagliarulo. It's the second grand slam we've had today. First one was by Kirk Gibson in this morning's game. 4 RBIs for Pagliarulo. That's his first hit of the game, that grand slam. And that 28 off of Pag's card is gone. Let me double check that. And that's going to be it. We're going to bring in Doug Baer. So Doug Baer comes in with only 1 out. And Doug Baer is a 12, so hopefully he can go the rest of the way. All right, it's a 6. That's going to be not off Baer. It's going to be off Meacham. 17, and that's line base hit to right. Yankees continue their barrage. Reduce Baer by 1. That's off Meacham's card, so they're looking for an error, and it's only an error on a 10. And that was what, a 17 was to right. The right fielder is Sanchez, and Sanchez is an 8. So 10 is above that, so there'll be no error there. And so Meacham is on with a single. Ricky Henderson. Here goes. That's an 11. Off Henderson at 12, and righty versus righty at 12 is going to be a pop-up in foul ground to the catcher. Castillo makes the catch. That's 2 outs. And it's Ken Griffey Sr., who was the ninth batter to come to the plate here in this inning. Well, here goes. 11 off Ken Griffey. That's a 16. That's line base hit. That's going to score 1, and it may score 2. Wait a second. No, there's only 1 man on base. It's not going to score anybody. Meacham, we're going to try for third on that, and he is safe at third base. First and third. All right, okay. Come on, I'm going to let the dog out real quick. All right, the situation here, we just batted around. So what does that mean now? It means I got to jump to the next line. So what I do is I make the next line a 7. And then this one becomes an 8, that one becomes a 9. So there's two columns with a 7. And it's going to be Don Mattingly with runners on first and third. Here goes. We got to check for the error on that. No error. Got to reduce by another one. And here goes to Mattingly, an 8. It's off Mattingly's card. And a 13, lefty versus righty. That's going to be a base hit to the left. That's going to score 1 run. So Mattingly picks up an RBI. And stopping at second is Griffey. We're going to just hold him there. Not going to advance him more at this point. And that's another 2 move down. We're going to check for the error. No error. And here goes. Dave Winfield. A 2, that's going to be off there. And a 42 is ball 4. So Winfield walks. That loads the bases. For Don Baylor, this is the never-ending inning. The Yankees have scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs here in the top of the 7th. I don't even know what they lead it by. At least 10, 11, 12 right now. 12 nothing. Don Baylor. There's a pitch to Baylor. And that's a 5. That's going to be off of Baird's card. The 21 is strike 3, and he strikes out Baylor, and that ends the inning. About time. Holy smokes. So Yanks pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs on how many hits? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. 6 runs on 6 hits, and they lead it by 12-0. Bottom of the 7th, Detroit. Guidry. All right, Guidry versus Garbe, Sanchez, and Castillo. Here's the pitch. It's a 3. That's off Guidry's card. A 31, and that's a strikeout. So Garbe downstream. 1 up, 1 down. Next batter is an 8. That's off Guidry again. A 28 off Guidry's back-to-back Ks. Louisiana Lightning blows one by Sanchez. Returns to the dugout in disgust. Castillo with a 5 off Guidry and 3 up, 3 down. And RN is a little nubber in front of the plate. Out from behind the plate is Hassey. Fires the first in time. For the top of the 8th. 12-0 Yankees. Bleacher Bums. Another brother is in town. Saying hello. Old school basic version. Yep. Classic. Classic stuff. Although this is the 85, and if I look at the rules, there was a little booklet that I have here on my other The booklet said something about. Here it is. This is the booklet. It's Statis Pro second edition. That's what they call it, second edition. So it's still a classic. I mean, this was done in the basic, the fundamental structures of the game were created during, David Berkowitz's, rampage on New York City in the 70s. In the 70s, he was thinking about this game. He was playtesting this game. His buddies were playtesting this game. This is a Carter-era game. This is, the 70s. This is Tony Manero was rolling this game. He was sitting with the designer and rolling this game as well. And they were listening to the Bee Gees and Saturday Night Live. But that's the guy, this is the 70s, and I respect that. I love the 70s. It's like one of my favorite eras of all time. So, all right. So we go to the top of the 8th. Again, the Yankees are going to bring up Hassey. Bear is still in there. Let's see how long he can go. All right. And that's going to be a 4. That's going to be off Bear. An 88. A lefty versus a righty. And an 88. Lefty versus righty 88 is a little ball that squirts through the infield for a base hit. So Hassey's on with a single. That's going to reduce Bear by 1. 10 is going to be off Randolph's card. A 42. And that's ball 4. Another reduction. So here we go again in the top of the 8th for the Yankees. Mike Pagliarulo, who has a grand slam in the 7th inning. In that 6-run 7th, Pags has a grand slam. So I want to hit this intentional walk with yellow, so I don't forget. And then there was another one there. It's easier for me to read when I input the stats. Okay, Pagliarulo, here goes. It's a 10, so that's going to read off Pagliarulo's card, and an 84 is an out LP. Let's see if we can get a double play. It's going to be a fielder's choice if there's no error. No error, so it's a ground ball to the second baseman, Flynn, who flips to Trammell for 6. First and third now. And that's going to bring up Bobby Meacham. It's an 11. It's off Meacham's card. The infield is back at this point. 83. SN. That's an out. SN. That's a ground ball, second base. And it's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. And I'm going to just double check with runners on first and third. Make sure he doesn't have a chance to beat that out. I don't want to cheat the Yankees out of extra runs. Sometimes certain players with certain base running ability can beat infield back. Yep. So it's automatic double play in this case. And that's going to retire the side. So the Yanks score none. They leave 2 and get a hit and go bottom of the 8th. Guidry's going for that sometimes elusive shutout, particularly in 85. Guidry was in the same Guidry. Guidry in 85 is not the Guidry of 78. Right? He wasn't 25-3. I don't have his stats, but he wasn't 25-3. He wasn't the same Guidry. So Doug Flynn here in the bottom of the 8th. We're not bringing in any pinch hitters in this game. I do not care to do that. That's going to be a 6. It's going to be off Guidry's card. An 85. That's going to be an easy out. RN. Come back to the Guidry. Feels his position. One up, one down. That's an 8. That's off Guidry's card at 42. And that's, we're going to have to roll again because it says pass ball. There's nobody on base. A 6 is off Guidry. A 74. That's an out. RN. Come back to the Guidry. And back-to-back comebackers. So Guidry's keeping busy. Louisiana Lightning. And Alan Trammell now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. It's an 8. That's off Guidry. A 56. That's an out. RN out. And that's chopped to shortstop. He waits back. Now charges. Meacham throws on the run. And in time. Top of the 9th. Bear. All right. It's going to be Henderson, Griffey, Senior, and Mattingly. They had a pretty good team in '85, the Yankees. Just their pitching staff was just horrendous. But that's not what I'm doing. Going here. All right, it's a 2, so that's going to be off there. 57. That's an out. Henderson's RP, and that's popped up. A lot of pop-ups in this game. F4. Pop 4 is how I write it. A lot of pop-ups and a lot of ground outs to the catcher. Kind of weird that he went in that direction. I don't know why he did that. It's going to be an 8. That's going to be Ken Griffey Jr. Senior, excuse me. And that's going to be off of Senior with a 33, and that's going to be pulled down the line into the right field corner. After it is Sanchez misplays it off the wall, takes a weird carom, and Griffey's going to try for third, and here's the relay, and not in time. 1 out triple for Senior. And that's going to reduce Bear by 1. I'm going to try for the error, no error, and here goes Mattingly. Infield's back 9 off Mattingly, 45. And that's an out, LP. And it's a ground ball to the third baseman. Fields it cleanly with a run on third. Just curious as what's going to happen here. Man on third, G5, ground out at third, run holders, 5-3. 2 outs. And it's Dave Winfield. Dave Winfield today is 1-2. He's got 2. He's 2 for 4 with a walk, 2 doubles. He goes. That's a 10, so that's off Winfield. The 78 is an out. RP is chopped to first. That's Garby. Fields it cleanly. Races Winfield to the bag and beats him. And that's no runs, 1 hit. We're in the bottom of the 9th. The Yanks are up 12-0. Hibby's going for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hitter. Complete game 5 hitter. And this will put the Yankees up 1 game over the Tigers in 3rd place. Right now they're tied for 3rd place. All right, it's going to be Gibson. Here's the pitch. That's a 9. That's going to be off Gibson's card. A 21 is line base hit. And that's going to split the outfield as Gibson's going to walk into second base. Easy double. Some action in the Yankee bullpen now. That's an 8. That's off of Guidry, 66. Parrish is the batter. 66, and then he's an RP, which is a ground ball to the third baseman. Pagliarulo fields it cleanly over to first. Gibson stays at second. Don't even have to check that. I'm really interested. Larry Herndon. It's going to be off Guidry's card. Is 17. And that's, we didn't check for the error before. There's no check for it now. No error in outfield. 17 was a base hit. We're going to reduce Guidry by 2. 1 out, 2 on, first and third. Barbaro Garbe. It's 12-0, so we're not overly excited about anything right now. That's a 10, so that's going to be off Garbe. 78. That's an out, RM. And that's a fly to center. This may be a fielder's choice. Maybe a fielder's choice, first and third. F8, and we look at that here. F8, fielder's choice. A, B, R, A, or B scores. Gibson, he's a center fielder in 85, so he's got good speed. And he's going to score. Sacrifice fly, so there goes the shutout. (12-1). And it's Sanchez. Actually, I'd like to bring in a pinch hitter just because I feel bad about not using any pinch hitters. American League, it wasn't a big pinch hitting thing. We have Grubb on the bench. Let's see who else we have. Chet Lemon. Is Chet Lemon a righty or lefty? Let's see, Chet Lemon. Chet Lemon is a righty, so he's going to come in pinch hit. I said I was going to do any pinch hitters, but what the heck. Runner on first base, 2 outs. Chet Lemon. There's a pitch from Guidry. That's a 7. That's off Guidry's card. Now this game lasted, let's take a look at, these games last a little bit. It started off real quick. I can't get through any of these in less than an hour so far. I've only played about 4 after not playing this in a long time. So once I get a little faster, but there's so many little things you got to do that you know, you want to make sure you do them all, like the pitcher reduction, checking for an error. Those are the only things that hold, I think, this game back and making it more fluid. But I know for sure that if I played this every single game for a month, I'd be doing those things as second nature. All right, here goes. Last out. If you're still hanging around for the last out, God bless you. 12-1 Yankees. This is game 3 of a 4-game set. Both teams were tied at 37-26 going into this game. So the Yankees are going to be 38-26, and the Tigers are going to be 37-27. So Chet Lemon, it's off Guidry's card. We pull a 44, and that is an out RP. RP says ground ball to shortstop. And that's Meacham. Fields it cleanly. Flips to the second baseman. Randolph, and that's the ballgame. Now, let me tell you something. You can pick up any season on PDF, and they even have an advanced version that really, you know, makes it, updates the whole game. And you can check that out as well. There's actually an advanced Statis Pro Facebook page that you can go to and ask questions. And it's a great game. It's a fun game. It's a well thought out game. It's a well tested game. I mean, it was started in the late 70s and went all the way into the early 90s. I feel it's a more intellectual game. It's like a college kid game. It's for somebody that doesn't mind doing a lot of reading, but it's an advanced game without really being advanced. Like, it's an advanced game for guys. If you're used to reading, the charts are laid out very easy to understand and very easy to read, and they're all in front of you. And the game plays fine if you don't use a lot of that stuff. You can kind of just, you know, send everybody first to third. Like if it's to right field and he's an OBR A or B, just say, you can make your own simple rule. You can also say, you don't have to do pitcher reduction. You can just, you know, do your own thing. If the pitcher starts having trouble, just pull him. You can also just guide yourself by how high the number is. If it's a very high SR number, then you leave them in longer. If it's a low SR number, you pull them out earlier. There's a lot of ways you can avoid using this. So there's a lot of things that I could do, and I don't want to do it because I want to stay loyal to the designer who I really admire and I really respect. Because the one thing that came in these rules, because, you know, this is a little bit of history as well as just tabletop gaming and sharing my, you know, the love of for our hobby with you guys. So it was 1 run on 2 hits. So it's going to be 12-1, the final score. And in this game, it tells you how to create how to rate players yourself. And it gives you the whole algorithm. It tells you exactly how you can rate all the players yourself. In other words, he said here, I'm not keeping this for myself. I'm not going to hide this from the world. I'm not all about making money. I love doing this. This is fun. And I'm going to share it with everybody in my hobby. And he made it public, you know, and that's a great thing. I love that about him, and it's somebody I highly respect for doing that. And you know who else does that? History Maker Baseball. For $5, it teaches you how to make all the cards you want, and then it even gives you a little software, a little application that will help you do it. And you just pop in the letters. So I keep History Maker Baseball in my lineup, in my rotation, just because they're so cool about it, you know. I'm trying to look for the name of the designer. I can't remember his name. I don't remember his name. Somewhere on the box probably, but I will look up his name. Anyway, guys, this is it. That's the ball game. Now, the way I do this is I fill in the colors, and it helps me count everything a little bit easier. So hits for the Yankees are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 hits for the Yankees. Holy smokes. All right, and errors, I don't see that they committed any errors. No errors for the Yanks. The Tigers had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it was a complete game. And the Tigers had 1 error there. I know they had at least one error. The pitcher, that was a big one too. That was a double play ball that would have gotten them out of that inning. That inning where they scored a bunch of runs, 6 runs. They were out of that inning. But an error by the starting, I believe it was a starting pitcher. Oh no, it was not the starting pitcher. It was Behringer. Double play ball right into his mitts. And he bobbled the ball and dropped the ball and picked it up. By that time, there was no throw, no chance to get anybody. All right, so the line score final, Yankees 12 runs, 17 hits, no errors. And I can double check that. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. So 12 runs, 17 hits, no errors. Detroit, 1 run, 7 hits, 1 error. The win goes to Guidry, so he improves his record to 9-4. So he gets the win. The loss is going to go to Petry, who drops to 3-8. And that's all. So I'm going to fill this out. Lately, what I've been doing, I've been filling out with guys, just showing them how I do it and my thought process of what I'm thinking about when I do it. Let's look at Louisiana Lightning's strikeouts. He had 1 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh. So he started getting a little bit stronger. And then he gave up a couple of hits in the ninth inning. He retired 9 in a row from the 6th to the 8th inning. So he had 5 strikeouts, 7 hits. He went 9 innings. Only 1 run, 1 earned run. No home runs, no hit by pitch, 1 wild pitch. And there was no walks. He did not walk anybody from what I can see. So he walked none. Great job. And then what I do also, which is fun to do, is I do ground balls. Ground ball 5-3, 3 ground balls here. So that's 4 ground balls for Detroit pitching. And then there, ground ball here. Right in there. And another one there. And another one here. And then I do fly balls. I do those in blue. And it brings this whole page to life. Any out in the air, it's going to be a ground ball. I'm sorry, fly ball. Yeah. There's 3 here. It's a pop-up and 2 lineouts. Another pop-up there. Just we got to get the strikeout. Here's a pop-up. A lot of pop-ups in this game. And I missed 1 ground ball right here. And then I missed the strikeouts. There's 1 there. So Petry had 1 strikeout in the first inning. I missed a walk as well. And in the complicated innings, it helps me decipher the complicated innings later on when I input this into Replay PC game. I look at the colors, and since I'm right in the inning, I still remember what went on, and I can decipher things later on. If I let time go by, I can't read certain things. I don't remember exactly what it means. But in the simple innings, I can figure it out. But in the innings where there's a lot of writing, it gets a little bit complicated. So I like to do the wilder innings. I like to do them right at the end of the inning or during the inning. You see, so these are the walks. And I think that's it. So everything is filled in pretty much, except for the errors. The errors, I leave that blank. And then what I do at this point is I just kind of create these little squiggly lines because it makes it look more interesting rather than leaving big blanks. And this is not my idea. I just stole this from somebody who's showing it. There's a video about somebody who does this, and I said, "Oh, I'll make it." I sometimes make it my own. So at the bottom, I do this as well. Just spend extra time. I have a lot of time on my hands. There's no rush. I still have to input this whole game. I'll probably do it tonight or in the morning, depends whenever I get energy. I'll probably go watch a movie right now. There's 2 ground outs there, ground out here. So the ground outs are like in a light brown. And then the flyouts are in the blue, like a sky blue. They went up into the air. Right? Anything that's a pop-up or a line out is going to be in blue. I'm going to play one more game with Statis Pro, and then I'm going to flip it and go into another direction. I haven't played History Maker Baseball in a while. So somebody asked me to do a tutorial on double switches in iScore, so I'm going to do that for them. So I'll probably play an iScore Met game tomorrow, a 2019 Met game, or maybe something else with History Maker Baseball. I haven't played it in a while. And that's it. So this is CP Cards and Dice saying, guys, thanks a lot for stopping by. Thanks a lot for the chat. Bleacher Bums Gaming. Check out his channel. It's amazing. On all the other channels out there, I think every guy has a channel. They're all good, and you'll definitely message held for review show. I don't know what that means. What an ass whooping. And there you go. So it's good to see you guys. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out that long. I try to chit chat as well, so it's not just watching the game. You can think about the conversation and so on. And this is CP Cards and Dice, and thanks for coming by. Thanks for everything. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, stay wise. Follow the orders of your local health department and so forth, and the national, the CDC and the World Health Organization. You're better off if you do that. They're doctors, and they took an oath for hopefully to take care of people first, not their own positions of wealth and power. So I bid you farewell, and I will be back soon. This is CP Cards and Dice, and adios amigos.